Uh, so Jammers, I know like you guys are busy with the last deadline. So we are streaming the talk as well. So all the best. Like today we have here Mohan Das, he's the co-founder of Chennai Games. They are known for their best games like Mr. Racer, which is like hugely approached by millions of users around the world. So welcome Mohan. How are you? Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sorry, like I muted my mouse. So, so we have Mohan here. Mohan is the co-founder of Chennai Games, and his games, Mr. Racer, is downloaded by millions of users around the world. And we are very happy to have him here. Welcome, Mohan. How are you?
I'm fine. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Yes. So how's everything going? I would like to start. I want to know like how your journey into game industry started, and like what are your achievements, and how Chennai Games is formed finally.
Okay, perfect. So now, after completing my engineering during 2002, as a BE computer science graduate, so during that time, the trend of IT was not that good. Even the class toppers were not finding a job. I'm kind of 60-70% of guy. But fortunately or unfortunately, I got an opportunity to work with a very small team. Where I am the only developer, only animator, only designer, so all together. So that gave me a great opportunity in order to learn many things, like a self-learning stuff, problem solving, and of course understanding various development pipelines and other stuff. That is my first company where I worked as a kind of all-rounder guy. That is in Chengalpet. In Tamil Nadu. So that's the place where I learned a lot. That gave me a lot of confidence in order to do it yourself, something like that. And during that time, even the accessing the internet is very challenging. You have to go and buy the SIFI CD in order to access the internet. Okay, so that's the challenge there. Anyway, so out of that. A lot of learning. I went into the other company, and then so that is with the Future Schools. So I worked there nearly 1 year, I guess. So where it's a e-learning based company where there's a lot of small games and activities that have been developed by me, but there are a lot of other developers. So that helped me to understand the space of CBT. During that time, it's called a computer based learning system. That's a booming market. Now it can be we can easily compare that with the Byju's kind of stuff, but Byju's is so big now. Of course, Byju's is so big, but a kind of a simplified version of it were created during that time. I'm talking about like 2005, six, something like that. That created a lot of opportunity to create activities, also games in Flash, those kind of stuff. And then I got an opportunity to work with the Next Wave Multimedia. It's a proper gaming studio. So I'm kind of the first game developer there. It's a good team. I learned a lot there. I took a lot of responsibilities and opportunities, and I've been pivoted to create a good gaming team. And of course, I also got a good opportunity from Rajendran sir and of course Jayashri ma'am. They trusted me, so we took the team forward to a good extent. During 2008 or 9, so we thought that Unity is going, Flash is going to be no more. To some with the help of various things surrounding here and there. Then we dived into Unity. Okay, so then the things changed it, and so we started a lot of good projects, and then I got an opportunity to work on World Cricket Championship one. of course, two, so where I got an opportunity to create the core game engine, and then of course Battle of Chepak and other stuff. So during 2018, so I thought I got saturated. I want to try something new. I want to take a risk, and I want to come out of my comfort zone and do something new or maybe kind of challenging. So then I started Chennai Games Studio during 2018 October. And then we brainstormed it internally. I'm the only senior guy. I took three freshers, raw freshers. They don't know much about Unity, even Blender, something like that. So I trained them for a kind of 5 months, 6 months, mold them in order to give my entire knowledge to them, something like that. So whatever possible knowledge to them. So and then we started creating Mr. Racer. I'm so passionate about cars, racing, that kind of thing. It's kind of my dream project. After training our people, and then as a just in 4 members, including me, we released Mr. Racer after 15 months time of development. And then right from the beginning, we got a good traction. And then based on the users' feedback, and of course, we also had a lot of good roadmap internally. So based on that, we released nearly 10 to 15 updates. And then recently we introduced multiplayer as well. This is the journey of Chennai Games. This is the journey of me and of course Chennai Games.
Okay, so what is the vision of Chennai Games like when you formed it? When and how you then there's any particular reason you started with Mr. Racer?
Yeah, the vision of Chennai Games is very clear and straightforward. I particularly want to give a deep gaming experience with the help of machine learning, AI system, and want to give a good entertainment for the end user. This is the vision of the Chennai Games. Okay, so that way.
Okay, so how many members when you start Chennai Studios, how many members worked on Mr. Racer actually?
Including me, 4 members.
Okay, so it's like a small team that creates a huge hit with 5 millions of downloads, right?
Yeah, correct.
So that's
I'm the only guy who's
that also happened to you in a very short span of time. So so everyone should really check out Mr. Racer. It's an absolute racing game. It's fantastic. And one more thing I need you to ask is Chennai Games develop, publish, and support your own games. You didn't go to any other publishers to publish your games. So what are the challenges you faced when publishing Mr. Racer? How you succeeded in the publishing phase?
The self-publishing is always kind of risky for small teams, small indie studios. Definitely, it's there. But with the help of a good ASO, with the help of a good understanding about the industries, we can able to push to a certain extent. But nowadays, it looks like there's a lot of gaming studios popping up, coming up. So it is very challenging to make your game stand out of the crowd. Right, so because I have seen many games that even though the gameplay is good, the game is good, art is good, but it looks like they are lost somewhere. It's the discovery is not there. Discovery of that particular game is not there. So the product should be really good. And if you believe that product is really good, then we have to do some kind of marketing. Without marketing, I think it's very hard for the game to get noticed by the user. So that is the challenging we also face. So, but because I'm there already in the industry, so I know that after development we have to push it for a marketing extent. So I personally had a self-funded with the help of my own self-funded. I promoted my game to a certain extent, whichever way I possible. So initially after the launch, and reached out a good amount of users, like minimum of 1 lakh users. After that, I haven't promoted the game because I'm sure that once the users start or once the players start playing the game, they can able to spread the word. So that's what really happened. And luckily, so during the time after our launch, a couple of weeks later, the lockdown came in. So that actually, maybe fortunately or unfortunately, that also helped us a lot. Our game download went up. Like we have seen good number of downloads during April, May, June, during those period, lockdown period, I think. So we got good amount of download, but we haven't promoted to whatever extent we had. So it could be a different ball game. So after if you think the game is really good, we have to pump in some money in order to do some marketing. So that's what we did for the initial this thing. We reached out quite a handful of users, so that after that, once they found this game is interesting, they start sharing with their friends. We brought in a viral, referral activities where one person refers to other players, and the thing went kind of exponential for us. So this challenge we faced, I mean, in terms of marketing, it's since it's a self-funded company, I spent a bit amount for that. So that's one challenge. Of course, the next is developers. Okay, since I am the only senior guy during that my initial launch time, so the other the teammates. Hello. Yeah.
Yes, we can hear
Hello.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, the team formation is the next challenge. We took bright freshers, so and then we trained them. Development during training is also time consuming, and it's kind of challenging because our deadline keep postponing, something like that. So our development duration is 15 months. So that is quite challenging because being without any revenue, sustaining for the 15, 16 months is a very challenging for that for us particularly. So this is one thing, and then bringing into the search results is other challenging. We haven't approached any agency or any SEO experts. We did all the research in order to bring in the right keyword, right. Approach to get listed in the top of the search. So those stuffs are really challenging. We, with the help of App Annie and best practices of bringing up in ASO, we cracked it. We learned, and we did to a certain extent. That's other interesting and challenging stuff.
That's nice. So like today, if someone like want to start a game studio, most of them like will move towards the hyper casual games because it can take like a small team to make a hyper casual game, and it is even a bigger trend. So what made you to go? What made you not to go into hyper casual direction when you start Chennai games?
That's a good question. In fact, for a small studio or indie developer, definitely we naturally will go for a hyper casual because the development is kind of simple, and of course, a small team can able to achieve it. That's absolutely right. In fact, we also had a similar kind of discussion before even starting Mr. Razer. But I am very clear that we want to do something deep. Meaning the technology, being a technology guy, I particularly want to do things bit deep. So meaning the game should have a depth, proper AI system, so proper game mechanics, and then more number of game modes, and then a possibility of having a possibility to give a scalable option like various game modes, multiplayer. These things are top of my mind from kind of day one. So I decided to go ahead with Mr. Razer because the opportunity and pushing our boundaries, the scope for pushing our boundaries is more. So that's the core reason we went with Mr. Razer.
That's interesting. So let's talk about some publishing things that you've done. So like when you're publishing the game, like can you, or like if someone like want to publish their games, like what are the pros and cons of like self publishing? So what would you say? The pros and cons of self
Yes.
publishing.
Yes, self publishing is always challenging, but if you take like pros, definitely you are the only guy. You take the risk. You have the opportunity. You have that ownership, and you can take decision much faster if you are self publishing, and then if you want to go like not to. if you want to give the publishing to someone else, so definitely you have to obey, or you have to your hands are a bit tight. Your hands are tied. You have to do what the publisher says. But of course, you naturally will get more number of downloads. But in order to give publishing to others, so maybe we have to carefully see what kind of publishing they have done for the other developers. What is the success ratio? How much downloads they can able to increase? Those kind of stuff. But being a self-publisher, yeah, there's a lot of pros and cons. As I said, you can make quick decisions, and you have to invest money in order to do marketing activities, and you have to do everything on your own, right from development, right from marketing, PR, and testing, everything. But the other route, maybe if you are giving the publishing rights to someone else, so maybe they can also help you on that. But your hands are a bit tight. It's up to the studio to take a call, and also the kind of publisher you're getting. That also matters. Some publishers are really good. They will help you a lot in order to make your game successful. They will take care of marketing, and they will also give a lot of QA. They will also add a lot of vision and mission into the project. That also matters. But it all depends on what publisher you are working with is the key. That's the thing. If you have good money in your pocket, and if you have the good stamina and the technical aspect and the trust in you, it's better to go with self publishing to a certain extent. Once your product is really good, if you got good feedback, and make sure that your rating is 4 and above, and you listen to the users. It looks like it's a hectic job. Like you have to work nearly 16 to 20 hours a day. That's the pros and cons. You can have it anyway, but don't go for immediate self-publish, immediate giving the rights to publishers. Make your game matured. Make it more strong enough so that when you approach a publisher, they will also trust your product, and then it will be a win-win game.
That's awesome. What game genres you like to explore in multiplayer? Since like you started multiplayer and you already released a multiplayer with the Mr. Racer, like what genres you like to explore multiplayer? And, like any upcoming titles that's coming from Chennai Games?
Yeah, we are working on a shooter game, but because of our internal development team, this thing we slowed down a bit. The other genre, as I said, so we are very keen to work on work, and partially we are working on a shooter game. But for the last couple of months, we have slowed down. We almost kind of stopped. Not almost, we stopped it because we are doing a lot of good things in Mr. Razor. So for a next update. So racing and shooter game is our dream projects to work on.
Okay, so like the shooter game, like it's like a battleground game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. So like hope there is like finally a battleground game coming from Chennai. So I'm looking very forward to it. So like how do you think like multiplayer games evolve in the future? What is the future of multiplayer games?
See, multiplayer is the future. Is most of the. I mean, many will already know that, right? So because we have a better devices, better bandwidth, the infrastructure is there, and the multiplayer has a lot of big use cases. It is the future of gaming. Esport has already done it. Okay, so and then of course with the play to earn concepts are coming up. It's already started booming up for the last 2-3 months. It's already triggered it. Okay, so the future of multiplayer gaming's next biggest future is multiplayer, and of course play to earn, and there's no doubt about it.
All right. So like, do you think like we will be still playing from mobiles or like any other platforms it will might adapt everyone?
Mobile. I think mobile is the strong adopter, and we'll have a lot of user base. This thing, but you mean different gadgets is what you are referring for, other
Yes,
than
like
mobile.
metaverse or like that's upcoming future devices.
Yeah, metaverse is the future. Maybe in 1 to 2 years, we can see it is going to explode like anything. So that's going to happen.
That's right. So, like, what kind of developments and talents you particularly choose in Chennai games? Like,
See, we at Chennai Games are very choosy in picking the right talent. So particularly the core game development or core game developers, we are looking into it. So not like a casual gameplay or maybe AR VR stuff. So like mathematical skills with understanding about AI systems and bringing a good game mechanics. So these are the qualities that we are looking forward and we are looking for talents like that, and mathematical skills and proper usage of hoops concepts, understanding of better gaming experience, and of course Unity. But if you put in straightforward, good mathematical skills, AI, ML kind of knowledgeable person is what we are looking for. Our talents, we are looking for such kind of talents, in fact.
that's awesome. So, you have a post, a technical artist in your studio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually, I think like you're the like one of the studio that commonly have technical artists in Chennai. What do you think? Like, can you explain? Because like some developers or jammers, like they are not aware of the technical artist. It is just now like they are getting to know about that title very much. So, like, can you explain like what is a technical artist? It is and like what their job is?
See, technical artist plays a key role into the development cycle because so since we are targeting our games for mobile devices, they have to do things more efficient. That is good for the game, good for the developer, good for the devices, like a game ready stuff, and how the game how the asset need to be represented in the game. That is lightweight, doing the right topology and doing LOD, and they have to think some perspective with how developer how the programmer handle this asset. It's not about creating asset. The asset what he creates that need to be more optimistic, more efficiently packable in the game, and at the same time he should also concentrate on the look and feel that he need to bring in. For example, if you're taking any car model, the car model should not deviate from what it is, and then similarly it should not have a lot of polycounts that drains your battery, drains your game FPS that way. So he should think, he or she should think both the aspects in order to bringing the right asset, the required art assets in terms of look and feel, at the same time in terms of performance of the game, that the developer will also consider those kind of things top of his mind. So this is what I personally I personally recommend for the technical artist to do.
Awesome. So guys, like we have one more questions left. If you wanna ask some questions, like you can always ask here in the channel, or like you can throw it on the no mic chat in Discord, or else like you can ask it on the YouTube channel. Mohan, like you've been a CTO on Next Wave Multimedia, which is also a biggest cricket and like sports game developers there, and like you've been managing like a lot more developers, like, and you have trained more developers. What advice and tips you would give for the developer, like if to succeed in their path, like as a developer?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So, in fact, I mean, my advice to the developers are, so the first 2 to 3 years is the key. If they are freshers, this scenario will exactly matches for them. But senior maybe will come later. The first 2 to 3 years is the very golden period. Should be the golden period for the game developers, because during that time. People need to put the right foundation for their career. Okay, so they need to learn a lot in terms of foundation fundamentals, and whatever topic is assigned to them, they have to go much deeper in order to extra. They have to push their own boundaries, get a lot of need to discuss with the seniors in order to in order to grasp their experience, and then they should not stick to particular module or stuff like that. Whenever they find time, they need to involve themselves into others modules or project, so that they get a lot of exposure that way. So and then since it's a gaming industry, the mathematics plays a key role. Okay, so we have to go back to our basics, like we have to take our fifth standard, sixth standard, or seventh standard, eighth standard books in order to understand the trigonometry, algebra, those kind of stuff. That will help a lot into game development. It's not about just using inbuilt APIs and other high-level API stuff. We have to go deep in order to make ourselves more knowledgeable person into the game industry. The mathematics and hoops concepts are very essential. So without that, we cannot. It looks like we are not. I will tell like it's not kind of not a good game developer. Generally, the game developer should able to take whatever thrown to him with a lot of confidence that way. So for that to happen, the foundation should be strong. So in order to make the foundation to be strong, the first 2 to 3 years is very crucial. They have to put a lot of effort in order to learn more stuff. So if they did that, the rest of the 25 or 30 years will be very strong for them. So that's one advice I want to give. And then there's no shortcuts. So we should not take any shortcuts like taking stuff from Google and of course putting into a project. So that's not a good practice. But the thing is that we get a lot of inspiration from other projects or other open source projects. It's better to understand that concept and logic and try to implement that with the full of our knowledge. Without our knowledge implementing into the project, I don't recommend that, because the project should be scalable. So once we know what we have written into the project, then we have the flexibility to scale. Even though if we are taking from any open source or maybe from the Google, we need to understand everything. What's the purpose of each and every line? What is the purpose of each and every variable, methods? So if we understand that, then we are giving opportunity for us, for the organization, for the product to scale. So that's the second point I want to communicate. So whatever is there in the project, it should be meaningful. It should be fully understandable by us, that is by the developer and by the team, so that it is scalable. That's number two. And it's my third advice will be like we should not say like this is my work, this is not my work, something like that during our initial period at least, so that we take the responsibility and ownership of everything, and that will give us a lot of opportunity to learn a lot, and in fact that will give a good bonding between the team members. So that will help a lot as we grow as a matured developer. That's number three. And then number four, take ownership of the product. So whatever you get, even if you get low salary or high salary, take the just salary is just a money, and on top of it, so if you have a good implementation programming practices, and if you are really successful with your technical implementation, things will automatically fall in place. That will definitely help you a lot as you grow as a much better developer. So then money will automatically come. That's number five. And four or five maybe. So this is the advice I want to give to the developers, because I have seen many developers who almost follow this kind of methodology. I always recommend them to do this.
Awesome. Right. Like we have a question from Vengayam. That is, his name is Sedu, I guess. His question is like how to join Chennai Games. Like, is there any opening as a fresher? Like, and what's the pay scale? This is the
Yeah,
question.
we have a good. Yeah, we are looking for a good amount of Unity programmers. Like we are looking for 10 Unity programmers, 4 to 5 3D artists, and two or three testers that way. So we are having a lot of opening opportunity for freshers. Please reach me at Mohan at ChennaiGames.com, or get my email ID from Mario.
All right, sure. Like I'll do that. Like his name is not Sedu. His name is Ramani Chandran. So
Okay.
yeah. So Like he's a
Or
fresher.
reach me to my LinkedIn profile. So we are looking for developers. Actually, we are short of developers. We are looking for developers, designers, testers, game testers. Please reach us.
Yes, like we are also sending you the Jammers details and emails into you. So
Okay.
Sedu, like I can share you the Mohan's email ID, and like I'll do that to you. So anyone else like have any questions? Anyone can raise your hands, like, or drop your questions at mic chat. Thank you. So Ajay, you have any questions?
Hi, Mario.
Hi.
Yes, definitely. Hi, Mohan, sir.
Hi Jay, how are you?
I'm good, sir. So, my questions are normally will be centric on a joy newcomers to the game developing industry or a sector. Or
Okay.
my questions will be very basic because I'll be a representative of a lot of students actually here
Okay.
today.
Okay.
So, there are a lot of students of those who are choosing CS and IT, and there's a lot of other students are choosing those are choosing proper game development also.
Okay.
But but their quality of the projects is not refined or expected. They cannot clear any ounce of interview. Example, if they go for a company, certain companies, there is a difference and there is a gap always between the academics learning and the industry requirements. What do you feel about that, sir?
It's absolutely right. So we have to complete our academics and then choose the industry exposure. Okay, that is the route I always recommend. Okay, because it's a properly structured academics system, right? See, in fact, after completing your 12th standard, it's better to go to engineering, know everything basics, and then go for a game development course. That's what I recommend. Even you are absolutely right. I have seen people like out of 100 members, nearly 98% are successful with this approach. Go to academics and then proper game development. Okay, they will have the right foundation of how to do the program, how to make it more scalable, and database handling, AI handling. They can go much deeper. But after 12th standard, directly diving into the gaming course, then their academics is not that strong. And in terms of gaming aspect, so a few of the gaming institute or maybe college, they are not more strict into the academic system. It looks like they are more the students controlling the staff. That I can able to see the difference. But in terms of a proper academic system, if you go to the college, then everything in place. It's more structured in terms of knowledge wise. It's the best route to take.
Okay, so right now there are first of all that's a great answer. So thanks for that wonderful answer for answering that question. And my next thing is there are a lot of tools comes and goes. I usually suggest my students that you should not stick to the tools. You should learn the concepts. So
Yeah.
what is your thought on that?
Absolutely, you're right, Ajay, on that. See, even we had a similar kind of issue internally sometime back. Like most of the people knows one particular 3D software that is proprietary software. So most of the training institutes teaches that proprietary software because of the expertise or maybe because of the demand what they might thought the industry needs. But the other route is open source softwares. For example, if you take 3D software, and I don't want to mention the name of it, but it's open software, but industry uses a lot. Okay, but the training
Certainly.
institute, yeah, but training institute is not teaching that. Okay, so if you take these things in place, but we saw good talent who knows the other software, proprietary software, but they doesn't know this open source software. Okay, but few people are good in the concept. They can easily adopt whatever the software is thrown to them. Software is a tool. But as you said, the knowledge is the base. But within a 4 to 7 days time, they can able to adopt this open source software.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
They are much matured. So even though guys who are really trained with proprietary software or whatever, if they don't have the foundation ready, if they don't have that knowledge or concept ready, whatever is given to them will be a pain point for them. So it's better to understand the concept, whichever programming or whichever art, you can easily implement that, but it's a matter of 4 to 10 days or whatever days time based on their capacity and capability. That's it. Okay, rightly said. The concept is key. Technology, software is a different story.
Okay. So, like, I mean, the point is really, I think I got an one more endorsement kind of a thing. I can take it up. So that from industry that we are all going in the right direction. But like one question, I mean, one question based on your answer, which is given just now. Like, do you think that all the academics areas, those not like up on an institute or a college or whoever is supporting this gaming program or who is giving the who is preparing the people for the industry, gaming industry? Should they focus on the open source first and then on the proprietary software, or do you prefer in which method? First prefer in case this advice you're giving to the all the academy, because we are in live and we are in the great platform on global game jam. I think now whatever you say that it will be helpful for a lot of people. So what do you think on that?
See, I'm not against proprietary software, first of all. So the thing is that,
What is we are taking that you are as a guidance, whatever your
okay.
statement as a guidance of because of lot of industry, gaming industry people. That's it. That's a guidance. Yeah.
You're right. You're right, Ajay, on that. But thing is that I'm not telling that we have to use everything as open source, because a few softwares till date we cannot able to replace with. We cannot be able to replace. Particularly if you take Adobe's products, we cannot able to replace it. So the thing is that, so from academics point of view, they need to speak to the industry people. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
because industry people knows what the industry needs. Okay. So it's
Okay.
better to have good communication between what is the requirement of the industry. Understand that maybe they should able to. It's better they teach that into their curriculum.
Okay. Okay.
That way. So because there are a lot of open source software that's really good, and of course proprietary software that cannot be replaced. So my experience, my input or maybe advice is maybe like industrial visit, maybe people need to go and see what kind of software this corporate or maybe gaming studio utilizes. So slowly adopting or teaching those technology to them, that will be really helpful, because we also bet on the technology. So because sometime back, like 10 years back, if you take Blender, okay, so many people doesn't know about it, but a Blender that
Yeah.
completely replaces many things. Okay, we as a technical people, before even taking any technology, will do the required R&D. What is the team behind it? What is the community behind it? What is the limitations? What is the benefits of it? That way we'll do the required analysis, and then we will pick the technology. Okay, so
Okay.
that way it's a very hand-picked one. So with that help or insights of industry guys, maybe academics can teach the required stuff as a secondary or additional curriculum.
Knowledge, additional curriculum knowledge, additional
Yeah,
courses.
yeah,
Understood.
this
Your
and
point
this.
taken.
Yeah, this and this. They can see with over the period of time how it evolves. Maybe the second option can be brought in as a primary layer. So that's
Okay.
what it is. But industry people
So
are very key. They will choose the right tool for the next 5 years or maybe down the line. How it will be that way. So definitely 80% of the industry people will nail it. What software they need to use.
definitely, that's a really wonderful point which you throw just now. I think that those who are listeners will have a great idea in case if anyone from academics background, definitely I think that would be helping them in a bigger way around. That's a great choice actually. Then even we insist that like many of the industry people should be a part of an academics board so that they can guide the industry. They can tell what is required in the market instead of the academics and the industry are the two different variations. I think
Yeah.
you made a point, sir. So one question from a point of a new stepping stone, I guess, or a newbie to a game development person. The person, what is the one important core thing which he should know? What is your point in that? One very important which he should know for any newbie in the game development.
In terms of programming or art or in general?
Because I'm not bifurcating here. Because next question is my art and development is there in the next pipeline questions. But in general, I'm asking you. In general.
Okay, coming in the same point. I
Now,
mean, what?
your newbie is coming out for a gaming sector because he's, let's say, a newbie game developer or game designer coming to the, as a gaming, what he should understand first of all when he want to come into the gaming industry, what he should know.
Okay. Uh, since as a newbie, if anybody need to come into the gaming industry, the exposure of games that is out there in the market, he need to have a good idea about it. He need to play a lot of games. He need to understand how game mechanics works. What is the economics that they built in. So that way, immediately he will be more valuable resource. Okay, so
Okay, okay,
so he need to play a lot of games and he need to really enjoy playing games. But after getting the job, so he need to translate his ideas and this thing into the product. Okay, so
okay,
because as a gamer, he should not be present into the team, right? It's like casual. Okay, with the help of that gaming knowledge or gamers knowledge, he need to translate those ideas into concepts into the game that we develop. Okay, so
okay.
these, once he done it, maybe in the same month he will be like a superstar of the team.
That's great. That's really great. That's great. Okay, sir. Like, what is the growth do you think in the gaming, sir? Like, initially, if you see, there are a lot of genres was playing around, and currently, if you in current period, hyper casual market is very peak, going reaching a peak in the market right now. What do you think? And some people are also saying that NFT and a lot of other things are coming up. Like, what do you think, sir? Where is the gaming industry is going? Is the gaming industry is getting a lot of diversion, or where it is exactly going?
The gaming industry is it's going to explode soon. So particularly the developers and of course designers, the amount of job opportunities that is going to come up is unbelievable. That's number one. And then there's a lot of a good future. We cannot able to even compare. We can able to see that in front. So that's the thing. The gaming industry is going to explode for the next 1 to 2 years. Many things is going to happen. Okay, so in 2025, the gaming in India will be very big. Okay, so that's number one. And coming back to the other genres, of course, since the amount of mobile devices, the power of mobile devices, that the hardware capability and the internet speed, that everything creates a lot of infrastructure for gaming. Okay, that too with of course fortunately or unfortunately, this lockdown and the pandemic created a lot of momentum. It accelerated a lot of things and it onboarded a lot of casual users, normal casual mobile users into gamers. Okay, so that way the user base for gaming become almost 2 times or whatever times we can expect. So the more number of users got onboarded, so that the genre got segregated into various stuff like a hyper casual, mid level, and then hardcore, and then of course esports, and then NFT and the metaverse are coming up. So the genre is getting scattered, and each segments or each pie has its own good amount of user base. So which means the industry become big. Okay, and it's going to explode. Okay, each and every developers who are good in it, who are good in that pie, going to succeed.
Okay. Okay. So you're telling that good pie in sense like you are targeting all the three layers on design layers, art layers, development layers, and all the buckets. Those are knowledge in this particular background. Is it right?
Yeah,
Or you
exactly,
want to be
exactly.
specialized?
No,
Yeah.
no, no. It's exactly because in order to release a product, you need everyone, right? You need a good developer, good designer, good 3D modeler, even a testers, quality assurance, project manager. So the division is humongous. Okay, it's just not about programmer. In order to release a product, you need everyone.
Okay. So do you think, let's say, like again, you said you are invited so many students to your team. That's really great to know that. But like when you invite people to the team, like they will be very new. They know game development. They either know by Unity or they either know Unreal or they may be knowing any programming knowledges. Based on that, they will be basic in the gaming engine, using some knowledge on game engine. Like, how do you mold them to your concept, and how do you judge them they are ready for your project, live projects? How do you measure that, sir? In general, you can tell me that, sir.
During interview phase or after onboarding them?
After onboarding them, sir. Interview phase, you have your own cutoff. That's every company has that. But after this, in general terms, how do you make them more as a freshers? I'm talking about this completely on freshers. How do you mold them? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. See, during fresher, so it's like a new baby. Okay, so I personally, if I find time, I personally spend a lot of time with them. So, but we have a good team members who will, as soon as when we onboard them, they will spend a good amount of time with them. So they will understand their weakness and strength, and then based on that, we'll start mapping modules, and then we'll handle them for a while, and we'll see how they react. We'll give a lot of inputs to them, and then based on that inputs, we'll get a lot of feedback. Hello.
Yes,
We'll
we
get
can hear you.
Yeah.
we'll start giving a small module, complex module, mid-level module. That way, we'll see what his capability in order to deliver. So, but sometime that guy will be capable, but with the help of a few inputs, he can able to deliver. So, with this kind of assessment, we will easily categorize his ability, and based on that, we'll map it. But after some time, like 1 or 2 months time, we'll start giving a one more complex module to him if that guy is kind of average or below average guy. So after 1 or 2 months time, so if he performs better, we will map it to a better or a complex kind of job. This way we will easily identify and map the modules or projects to him.
Okay, that's great, sir. That's really
But
great.
initially we
So,
will, but initially we'll spend a lot of time with him or her, so that we understand his or her capacity. So based on that, we can within 2 or 3 days time we can judge nearly 80-90% of the candidate's capability.
That's really great of you, sir. I think you're nurturing a very nice way. You're nurturing the every developers and designers and who are the players coming into your team. I think you're nurturing in a great way. That's really great to know that, sir. So coming to the next question, like for every developers and designers, those are already professionals. This question is for them on behalf of them. Do you think they should be involving in the multiple different varieties of projects and then upgrading themselves is good? Hello, am I audible?
Ajay, I lost you, I think.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah,
Now.
Yeah, okay. This question is for all the professionals and all the existing key people who's there in the companies already. Do you think molding or
Ajay,
making them
Ajay, I lost your question, Ajay. Can you repeat again? Sorry.
Maria, can you hear me?
Yeah, Jay, I can hear you now.
Hello. Yeah, okay, cool. Sorry for the internet lag. Okay. So the thing is, this question is for the people who are working professionals on behalf of them actually. There's once they come into a company, do you think that the professionals should be involved in various projects and make them to learn through the live projects, or do you expect them to upgrade themselves frequently based on the current trends? What is your guidance and what is your advice for them to upskill their knowledge? For this is not only for programmers or designers in general again.
See, in the computers, in programming or gaming space, of course, digital space, the upgrade should be done automatically. So each and every person should upgrade themselves, irrespective of project, irrespective of modules, irrespective of company. They have to upgrade themselves. At least they should able to spend half an hour or 1 hour every day. Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
You're audible, sir. Please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead. You're audible, sir.
So it's not about project or team, whatever. So they need to spend at least a half an hour or 1 hour every day in order to upgrade their technical knowledge or whatever art knowledge every day or possibly every week. That's no doubt about it. Once we are not upgraded, we are out of date. We are out of trend. So that's for sure. And coming back to your first question, based on the project's need, we will map it. and they will be concentrating. Some people will be very expert in particular domain. So it's not necessary for them to put you other example, like one person will be really good in artificial intelligence. Okay.
Okay.
And one guy will be really good in maybe game mechanics. Okay. So it's not necessary for the artificial intelligent guys to integrate UI and UX. It's not necessary, right? So that so the mainstream should be he need to stick to the mainstream if company and if he is really interested in it. Okay, so that way, that's my approach. So because once you are deep into it, you can extend that particular developer will extend his boundary. That will be a value addition for the company and even for him. Okay, it's not fair in order to dive into everything. You should not put
Okay.
this
Okay.
we should not put this developer into everything like SDK integration, game mechanics, artificial intelligence, UI, UX, everything. It's overtaxing him, and the exposure and the time that he spends is also limited. Okay, so if the company has the required fund and infrastructure and really ability to put them in a mainstream, I highly recommend that. But in case of startup with us, like 1% startup or 1% with two, three freshers, there's no other way. We have to dive in as a seniors. We have to dive in everything in order to get the job done. Okay, it's based on the team strength. Okay, if the team is capable, then it's go with mainstreamed domain. Each and every person will be good in it, so that the integration is seamless and he can easily give a lot of value to the team and product. I
That's
hope I
really
answered.
great. Yeah, definitely, definitely. It is going in the very right track. Actually, that's a great answer for. I think now all the developers and designers will be after listening this, they will be those who are not started at upgrading themselves. I think they will start their upgrading right away at least, because I think you made the point very clearly, Mister. That's really
Yes.
good. Thanks, Mario. Over to
Yeah.
you. Thanks. Thanks for your patience and very patiently you are answering all the questions. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Mohan.
Thanks. It's pleasure, Ajay.
Thank you so much. Definitely.
Thank you,
Over
Ajay.
to you, Mario.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay, so there's like one more question, but I think like it's a bit controversial. Like, how do you look at Chennai Games versus Next Wave Multimedia in terms of competition today? There's no competition anywhere.
There's no competition. See,
Yes.
because next wave, it's my home. It's kind of I grow. It's kind of. Yeah, I'm the first developer at Next Wave Multimedia, so we did a lot of good things. I'm not seeing that as a competition. So it's my home company is also, I can tell, because I know Rajendra and Jayashri ma'am very well. There's no competition at all. In fact, that's the reason why I want to do something different out of cricket. Okay, I want to put something from zero. Okay, so that's the reason why I created a racing game. So there's no competition, in fact.
Yes, and I
Yeah,
also think
good.
like in the creative industry, like I don't think so. There's a competition anywhere because like we
Yeah,
are encouraging the audience to engaging the audience, and it's a part of an entertainment. Like I don't think so. There's a competition.
yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So any other questions? So anyone can raise your hands, like if you want, or yeah. Okay.
So we are
Okay.
looking for good talents. I'll take few more of this thing. We are looking for good
Yes.
talents. Yeah, game developers, game designers, UI UX designers, and then game testers. So we are expanding our team. So it's a core team, solid team. We are looking for good, valuable members into the team. Even we are planning like. To hire bright freshers as a good group or good bunch of people, train them that way so that we can utilize them in the long term project, something like that. So whoever is really good in game development, understands the space of game development, please reach to me, Mohan at ChennaiGames.com. We have a good job opportunity with good scale that way. So reach me out, or maybe Ajay, or maybe Mario. So you can reach me out. All the
Sure.
best.
Sure. Sir. Thank you very much, Mohan. Like it's very great to have you here. Thank you very
Yeah,
much. Like
thanks.
I think
It's
like we
pleasure.
end this session.
Pleasure.
Sure.
Thank you
Sure.
so much for joining us.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
definitely. It's pleasure, man. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Take
Thank you.
care. Bye bye.
Bye bye. So guys, like we have like 2 hours left to close the jam. So 6:30 we will be starting the showcase. Like please upload your games to the official Global Game Jam website. Like the instructions will be there in the submission channel. Please go ahead. Like happy jamming, everyone. Good luck.